braking in competitive karting. Welcome to this new tutorial in the fascinating world of competitive karting. My name is Román Tejedor. Today we'll talk about the mastery of braking in competitive karting beyond speed. In competitive karting, braking technique is one of the fundamental and paradoxically underestimated pillars of performance. Many drivers think that the most important thing is acceleration or the line. But the reality is that braking defines the entire corner sequence. Braking isn't simply about reducing speed. It's a strategic tool that determines the entry, transit, and exit of each corner. Poorly executed braking not only compromises that particular corner, but also subsequent acceleration and the ability to defend or attack positions. Therefore, the difference between an average driver and a competitive driver often lies in the quality of their braking. To fully understand the braking process, we must discuss longitudinal G-force. This magnitude measures the acceleration or deceleration acting along the kart's front-rear axis and is expressed in multiples of the acceleration of gravity, i.e., 9.81 meters per second squared. Each time the driver accelerates, their body is pushed back against the seat. Each time they brake, inertia propels them forward. This same effect is reflected in the kart's chassis, wheels, and load distribution. In telemetry, accelerometers record these forces and graph them on the Cartesian XY axis. On the horizontal x-axis, we find the distance traveled on the track. Each point on the x-axis represents a specific position along the track. And on the vertical y-axis, the longitudinal G values. Positive when accelerating, negative when braking. Upward, positive values indicate forward acceleration. The driver's body moves backward, while downward, negative values indicate deceleration or braking. The driver's body moves forward due to inertia. Thanks to this representation, it is possible to analyze where braking begins, how hard it is applied, how long it lasts, and how it evolves until the turn-in point. This information is key to understanding the driver's technique and comparing it between laps, between different drivers, or under different track conditions. When we talk about incorrect braking, we are referring to a technique in which the peak of deceleration appears late, towards the middle, or even at the end of the braking zone. In telemetry, instead of observing a vertical drop in the graph at the beginning, we see a smoother and delayed curve. This is due to common errors. One of them is the late application of maximum pressure. The driver starts braking gently and only applies it hard when they feel they are too close to the turn. During the first few meters, they are not taking advantage of the kart's true braking capacity. Another error is poor weight transfer. By not loading the front axle from the start, the nose remains light. Then, when the driver applies the brakes suddenly, the weight is transferred abruptly, destabilizing the chassis and compromising control. This creates a third problem, understeer. To avoid oversteering, the driver must release the brake too quickly, and at that critical moment, the front end is lost, the wheels lose grip, and the kart tends to tip over. The result is an unstable kart, which travels more meters than necessary, forcing the driver to constantly correct and losing efficiency. It also generates unnecessary wear on the brakes and tires, which also affects overall performance. Proper braking, on the other hand, is characterized by intense braking at the start and progressively releasing it until the apex of the turn. This technique is known as trail braking. Its first component is maximum initial pressure. It is applied at the beginning of the braking zone, when speed is highest and the kart has the greatest mechanical grip. This ensures that the kart decelerates quickly and that the front axle is loaded from the start. The second component is progressive modulation. Instead of suddenly releasing the brake, the driver gradually reduces pressure. In telemetry, this appears as a very sharp peak at the beginning, followed by a controlled downward slope. The third component is maintaining some brake pressure as you enter the turn. This is the essence of trail braking. Not releasing it completely, but maintaining a certain amount of braking power as you begin a turn. This way, the weight remains on the front axle, avoiding understeer and unloading the inside rear wheel, making it easier for the kart to rotate. Finally, the fourth component is preparing for the exit. Thanks to well-managed weight transfer and efficient rotation, the kart is aligned before the apex, allowing you to return to the throttle sooner and with more confidence. Comparing the two cases, the difference is evident. In telemetry, incorrect braking is seen as a slow corner with a late peak. Correct braking shows a vertical drop at the start and clear modulation up to the corner. On the track, the driver who brakes poorly arrives too late, misses the starting line, and must correct. The driver who brakes well cuts ground, maintains stability, and connects the line smoothly. And in lap times, the difference can be several tenths per corner, which over the course of session can become full seconds. In conclusion, braking correctly isn't just about reducing speed. It's about dynamically managing the kart's weight, grip, and trajectory. Poor braking generates understeer, oversteer, wear, and loss of time. Correct braking optimizes weight transfer, maintains stability, and turns every corner into an opportunity to gain ground. The secret is to apply force at the start and release gradually. Trail braking keeps the load where it's most needed, on the front axle. And telemetry is the tool that allows you to measure, analyze, and perfect every detail of this technique. Mastering braking is what distinguishes an average rider from a competitive one. And that's why in professional coaching, braking is always one of the first aspects to work on to take performance to the next level. If you enjoyed the tutorial, I invite you to subscribe to my channel and give me a thumbs up. This checkered-like flag will make my job easier in future tutorials. Data Analysis TJM greets you until the next tutorial.